Let's zero in on what you just said, who financed it and who's behind it. You also write, quote, concerns about the company's connections to Russia have grown since the company re-emerged on a Russian hosting service after being denied services by Amazon Web Services. In fact, if you go to Parler.com, you're going to see a blurb that says technical difficulties, and they say we're going to fight every challenge that we have and we'll be back. But what implications could there be from being on a Russian hosting service?
Well, we know that some foreign countries have tried to sow misinformation and violence and divisions in our country. We want to know who's behind this. We want to know who financed it. If it's a Russian site, who's financing? Where's the money coming from? To put these up there, it's hundreds of millions of dollars. So these are questions that need to be looked at and they need to be researched. And that's what I'm calling on. This is a serious threat to our democracy and really to our national security.
And you mentioned that violent speech is not protected speech, but do you worry right now that the argument in favor of free speech will win out here?
I think it's a public policy that government needs to look at and define in a better way. Obviously, free speech is very, very important, and I support that for any political opinion. But violence is not a political opinion. They were clearly calling for the capture of certain elected officials, the murder of citizens and other electeds. They were trying to stop our government, which they did temporarily when we were doing our constitutionally required duties to ratify the electoral college votes for the new president. This is serious. To me, it will go down in history as one of the darkest days in American history. I never thought ever in my life I would see the Capitol of the United States stormed, our vice president almost captured, and the violence that happened that day. 5 people died, including a police officer trying to defend the Capitol and to defend the elected officials who were working there. This is a very, very serious crime, and many, many allegations have come out from not only individuals but organizations that Parler, and when Amazon tried to stop Parler and asked them to modify their language, they refused, and it was clearly aimed at violence.
I spoke with one of your colleagues this morning, Congresswoman Kelly, and she was, of course, in that Capitol just like you were, and she says she's still keeping in touch with her colleagues every day to check in and say, how are you? Because this is something that you all will be living with for a long time. Democratic Congresswoman from New York, Carolyn Maloney, thank you for your time. And coming up in our 4 p.m. hour, impeachment manager and Congressman David Cicilline joins me live. And we have some breaking news about the January 6th riots. The Justice Department has announced new charges against a Texas man who participated in the insurrection and allegedly posted online death threats, what we were just talking about, against Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as well as a U.S. Capitol police officer. Garrett Miller faces 5 criminal charges stemming from the insurrection, including trespassing and making death threats. Miller allegedly tweeted, "Assassinate AOC," according to court documents. More on this as we continue today.
Thank you for being on my YouTube channel. One race, human race, all human. Everyone on this planet known as Earth has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, to live in peace and harmony. Today is Saturday, January 23rd, 2021.